What's up, everybody? Welcome to a very, very special episode of Super Gamer Boys. I am your host and captain, Garrett Morlang, and here in the flesh, in the studio with me today, this very, very special, glorious, fantastic day, is none other than the one, the only, JJ Purdom.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, back by popular demand. Thank you for your cards and letters. Thank you for all of the tweets, the Facebook messages, reaching out to try to make sure that I came back. And after a lengthy battle in court, after just a couple of little infractions, we are now back. And now, forcibly, I am once again a super gamer man. That's right. Whereas Garrett is a super gamer boy, I've graduated. I am now and forever will be a super gamer man.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was part of the lawsuit that JJ was promoted to super gamer man.
Yes.
But yeah, he's back. And I also was forced to do that fancy introduction. So I don't mean any other things that nice things I say about him from here on out.
Well, you did really well.
I just need to make that clear.
Very proud of you as of right now. You did very well, and every time I want the grand potentate, the king of the world, and I am so excited, so happy to be back. It feels like it's been 5 weeks of not me here. Zetch did a great job. He makes me feel so good because he is so much smaller than me. He makes me feel like a super gamer man. I love it.
I know you're used to being the short guy. And then,
I am.
No offense, Zetch. I'm sorry.
I feel huge, and I love it. For the first time in my life, being bigger is not so bad. And Adrian did a great job.
Adrian killed it. Shout out to Adrian.
Yeah, seriously, you guys did great. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be back home. Garrett, I'm glad you finally gave up and let me come back. And I'm here, and I am just jacked. I've been snorting Adderall all day. And I'll tell you what, I've got some energy. And we're going to talk video games and other stuff that has nothing to do with video games. You just watch.
Oh man, boy, do I miss seeing those spikes on that waveform over there.
Are they already blowing up?
We're already blowing up.
Oh yeah, you've probably been keeping it down kind of low.
I'm used to turning it up so we could hear Zetch and Adrian and stuff. And now you come in here,
and once again, a super gamer man in the house. So
yeah. It's good to know. Good to know.
No, seriously, it's great to be back here on the podcast, Garrett. Thank you for holding the fort down and keeping everything, and thank you guys for all of your love. I really appreciate everything. I had family stuff going on, as a lot of you do know, some of you don't, but things are going much better in the right direction, and I am just glad to be back here on the show, rocking it like only I can.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited too. This will be good.
Yeah.
I'd tell you what, I even told JJ before the show, I was like, I'm a little nervous because it's been a while. You have a lot of pent-up energy that you need to get out. What? Is there going to be more editing that I need to do tonight? I told him, I was like, I have an early job tomorrow. I have to be up early. I want to get more than 4 hours of sleep. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, things don't get too out of control. But I also hope, I hope you bring it tonight. I'm ready. I'm expecting a lot from you.
I'm a grown-up, dude, and I am very adept at refraining myself. I mean, I could very easily talk about hookers and blow, but I don't do that because I am a professional.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's been so long, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's just been a long time. It's just been a while.
Well, as long as we got that out, and don't make me have to call my lawyer again. Seriously, he charges a lot of money. I'm just saying. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but I've got glasses now.
Yeah, he can finally see.
No, these are not real. I just wear them because they make me look smarter. That's the whole point.
Yeah, right.
No, actually, I was blind, and they were going to take my license from me. I was told that you would fail your DMV license right now, and they would revoke your license, sir.
He didn't even know there was actually a camera over there. I just told him to look that way when he talked, but he didn't realize there was actually a camera sitting there all this time.
Yeah, and that's why I have that dead eye look most of the time where it's like, is he even focusing? No, I'm really not.
He's looking past the camera because for all he knew, we were just staring at a blank green wall over there.
I'll tell you what I did when I first put the glasses on. I got them at Walmart. Shout out to the Walmart Vision Center.
Wally World.
I was sitting there. There was a lady sitting across from me. She went to hand me my glasses to try them on for the first time. And there's another employee sitting across from us, and she's got a customer there. And I'll tell you what I did. I don't know these ladies, and I don't know how they're going to accept anything that I say, but she handed me the glasses. I put them on. I was like, wow, they're so strong. Like, whoa. And then she put a mirror in front of me. And when the mirror came in front of my face, I reacted very large and I went, oh my God. And she goes, what? And I go, I thought I was black. And the ladies lost it. It was amazing. And then there was the fear of like, oh, what if they take that as a racist thing? I didn't mean it like that. Well, I mean, I kind of did. But,
Jeez. Yeah.
Good to be back. It's good to be back.
That's good. Great, guys. Well, let's get into some housekeeping here real quick. If you haven't already, go check us out, patreon.com/supergamerboys. I think it was last episode I went into some longer rigmarole. I know you guys are probably sick of me, tired of me talking about it, but I figure, hey, I revamped the system, might as well share what's changed. So if you want to hear what happened, go listen to that episode. But just to hit the main points, for just $1 a month, you can get the episodes early, and you also get... Yeah, I think that's it. You just get the episodes early.
Yeah, pretty much you get it early. Right?
But at the $5 level, you get that plus show notes, so you can actually contribute and kind of take a look at and comment on show notes. $10 a month gets you, a shout on the show, just like our Patreon sponsors, Bill Bird and Julie Bates. And our $15 a month, you get to actually, pitch us a segment. So go check out our Patreon. Even $1 a month, that helps us a lot. And then, like I said, you get the shows early. It's
for
win-win.
$15 a month, you can name Garrett's next kid. So here's the thing. Yeah, we're coming up with names. So if you want to be able to get up in that, go for it.
Yeah.
Why don't we make that a tier? That's a phenomenal tier.
Okay.
Just saying.
There's now our $15 tier. You can pitch us on a show segment as well as a name for my child.
Yeah, and you actually get to name the kid. It doesn't matter.
We can even name him the child, from The Mandalorian. That'd be great too.
I like that. Actually, that works.
Shout out to the HP Video Game Podcast Network that we are a part of. There's a whole bunch of awesome podcasts that, do awesome video game stuff just like us. Go check them out. You can just search for that online on Twitter. You can
also see it on Twitch. I mean, there was that amazing Twitch stream where Garrett was holding down the fort while I was on hiatus.
Yeah, so this last Wednesday, we did a stream with the HP podcast, as well as Super Best Friends Video Game Sleepover, or SBFVGS podcast. Go check them out. They're my favorite this week. I've started binging through a bunch of their episodes, and they're great guys. They're hilarious. It's actually a good, clean podcast for, compared to, some of the other ones out there.
Why did you look at me when you said
some of these other shows can get? That's an awesome show. Go check them out. But yeah, we got to do a community stream with those two. It was 5 of us, 3 from the 3 guys from Super Best Friends, 1 guy from HP, and then I was there, and we had a blast playing the Jackbox party games. It was so much fun, and just interacting with the different communities. There was a couple people in our chat that were hanging out, a couple people, few people in each of our chats that we were just having a blast with. Some of the viewers were joining into the game. It was a lot of fun. So if we do more stuff like that in the future, we'll try to give you more of a heads up. This one was a little last minute. It literally was Wednesday morning. They were finally okay, let's do it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let's do this thing. But it was a blast. So shout out to those guys and to the podcast network. And let's see, last but not least, let's give a shout out to the Discord, supergamerboys.com/Discord. I put out a tweet and a post earlier this week about it, but we've been having a blast in there. It's been so active the last couple weeks. So supergamerboys.com/Discord. I can't talk. Hey. Discord.
Maybe you need some of that Adderall I got crushed up in the other room.
Yeah, right. /Discord, DISCORD. And you can just join in on the conversation. We've talked about everything from the controversy of Sony versus Xbox and crossplay to what is a sandwich.
The jury's still out. I mean there's a lot of discussion.
I brought a lot of hard hitting evidence, and I think no one's responded back to me, so I think I won. So if you want to go see the conclusions to what actually constitutes as a sandwich, join our Discord.
Does that constitute as a game? Because you've never won a game before, so does it?
This is why I tried to get rid of you. You know.
Hey! You said that you were technically not allowed to ever say that again. That's one of the things. You're not allowed to say that you were trying to.
I'll edit that out.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know what? I think it's time.
Is it time? It's now time for the nerdy news. Dang, that felt good, Garrett.
Yeah, it sounded good. It's
good to be home. Actually, you know what? I got to say, Zetch did an awesome job.
Zetch did a great job.
I was very impressed with Zetch's attempt to reach down super deep. You know, it's like he pulled every bit of strength that he had in his little body, and he reached down real deep, and he said nerdy news, and he said it good. Zetch, you did a great job. As a matter of fact, I'd like to say thank you to Zetch because Zetch recently became a supporter on Patreon because he's trying to get this thing early, which unfortunately this episode will not be early because we are 1 day late.
So here's the deal. This episode will still be early. We'll just put out the regular episode a day late. So all you other suckers out there get it Thursday.
Yeah, I was ready to go, but unfortunately Garrett had something else happen and he just cast us to the side. But
sure. I got a text late last night. JJ was like, "Hey man, meeting with my lawyer right now, going over some last of the paperwork." So it was
there's two sides to every story.
If JJ wasn't so litigious, then we would have recorded last night and you'd get it on time. So
actually, I'm really proud of you that you used that word. That's pretty good.
You like that?
Yeah, I kind of did.
I learn things from other podcasts sometimes.
If you wear my glasses, it'll make you look smarter too.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
Alrighty, well, let's get into some news stories here. First up here, this comes from GameSpot. Jeremy Winslow over there. The headline is this. Yep, a new Call of Duty game is releasing this year.
You can just sense the excitement all over that.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Who would have thought? New Call of Duty. It's not like they haven't come out with one every November for the past, 10, 12 years or something. But Activision Blizzard has confirmed that we will, unsurprisingly, see a brand new Call of Duty game sometime this year, though which studio will develop it has yet to be announced. Interestingly, the company said that this year's Call of Duty won't sell as well as last year's Modern Warfare did during its launch window. No, isn't that? What a way to really sell your game. Come right out and be like, hey, here's a new game, but it's not going to be, sell as good as last year's.
That's like telling your kids at Christmas time, like, hey, look, remember last year when you had that incredible Christmas? When we gave you like all those crazy toys and it was like so much fun? Yeah, this year's not going to be like that.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be a lot less cool and not as fun.
I know. That's a bizarre thing to say.
It's just weird. It's a very odd thing for a company to come out and say, hey, our game is not going to be as good as it was last year.
Yeah.
That's not a great selling point.
So no details on platforms were shared, leaving us to wonder if it will be available on PS5 and Xbox Series X, which will both release in the vicinity of the new Call of Duty. And I just got to say, of course it's going to be on those. Like Call of Duty Ghost was one of those cross-platform ones. It was on both 360 and PS3 and PS4 and Xbox One. So they'd have to be insane to not do a cross-play game.
The one this last year was the Modern Warfare game, and that's actually one that you played and you loved. You said the story was
I think it's the best
right?
The best Call of Duty to ever come out, and the story is amazing. Like one of the best stories for sure. Yeah, this game's stinking amazing. So I get where they're coming from when they say, yeah, this one may not be as good as the last one because they really knocked out of the park with this last year's. But so it all happened in last week's earnings call. Activision Blizzard spoke a bit about Modern Warfare's success, celebrating the game's double-digit percentage increase over 2018's Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which is almost as like, well, duh, there's going to be a huge increase in sales because Black Ops 4, as great as a game as it was, only had multiplayer. That was the first Call of Duty to only have multiplayer.
There was a lot of people that were really upset, and it's weird because multiplayer is really popular with the Call of Duty.
Right.
Garrett constantly says that he hates people who play Call of Duty.
Yeah,
and all bro gamers. You've never said that on... Oh, my gosh.
No, I've definitely...
You've never said that on the show?
I've definitely said that on the show. I haven't said it in a long time. So at this point, I was hoping people would have forgotten I said it. But thanks, thanks for bringing that one back.
How you say that all Call of Duty players are losers.
Yeah. Well, now I'm one of them because I'm super into Modern Warfare. So,
Yeah.
I guess I'm a loser.
And I think I'm a loser too because I just asked you 2 or 3 days ago if I could borrow it.
Mm-hmm. You did ask that, and I did forget to bring it tonight.
Yeah,
but,
that's okay.
While Activision Blizzard didn't provide specific numbers about Modern Warfare's success, the company said this year's premium Call of Duty title, which is expected to arrive sometime between October 1st and December 31st, will not perform as well as the Modern Warfare reboot did during the same period last year. Let's see. So that was kind of the gist of that article. There's a little more, but we'll get into it in the next article. Anyways, so yeah, of course, there's going to be a new Call of Duty. Who would have thought? I just think it's interesting that they didn't release who the developer was going to be, though, because they kind of have a cycle down. Like pretty much there's 3 studios. There's Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer, and they kind of just rotate. Right? Like every year they just take a turn essentially. And they did, this last year was Infinity Ward. So this year should be.
That was an Avengers movie, Garrett. I think you're wrong.
Okay.
Google that. You just go ahead and you Google that.
I'll Google that later. How about that? Yeah, so last year was Infinity War, so in the year before that was Treyarch, so that would mean the next one would be Sledgehammer, right? Like that's the logical conclusion of that. Like why?
That's the logic I came up with.
Why are they being so cagey about who's gonna develop this next one? Like it just seems weird to me that
maybe they're going with a different developer. I mean, yeah, they've cycled through those 3 developers, but
no, that's what they've been done for the past like 10 years. Like it's Infinity War, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, Infinity War, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, Infinity War. Like and the reason they do that is because they're owned by Activision. Activision, I don't think, owns any more studios, so I don't know who else it could possibly be, unless they plan on buying a new one, but I doubt that.
I say they have Naughty Dog do it, and they make it more like Uncharted, and then that crap will be amazing, and then I would be a Call of Duty player.
But Naughty Dog only does PlayStation exclusives. I'd be down for that, but then it'd be a PlayStation exclusive.
I just like Naughty Dog and everything they touch.
They're pretty good. They're pretty great. Another news story that I did not put in the rundown because I just saw it this afternoon.
Tell me it's something about Last of Us 2.
The Last of Us 2 will be playable at PAX East at the end of this month. So if we can fly to Boston.
That's on the West Coast or the East Coast.
So we can fly to Boston at the end of this month and go to PAX East. You could potentially play The Last of Us 2.
I don't fly.
So if anyone out there, what?
I mean, I would have to get really, really drunk, and I don't drink either.
I mean, for The Last of Us 2, though?
Well, I'd be so hammered. We'll smoke the ganja and
whatever it
drink
takes
up
at that point, right?
The Vicodin, or maybe I could snort some more out. No, that would go the wrong direction, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's what you want to do on a plane.
No, I probably wouldn't because I get arrested again.
Again.
That's really where I've been this whole time.
In the pokey.
I've been in the pokey, and let me tell you why they call it the pokey.
No, that's all right.
I was gonna,
so if any of you out there are feeling extremely generous and want to fly us to Boston and at the end of this month, let me know because we could bring you some sweet, sweet Last of Us 2 coverage. There's no way we can afford it because, man, I looked up tickets. I'm like, holy crap.
You know what's
like
funny?
we're literally the farthest from Boston you could possibly get.
It's pretty far. But we could always have a very wealthy benefactor who's like, man, I just love the Super Gamer Boy and man. And because we're calling it that now. Okay. Listen, Grammy. Okay,
shout out to our Patreon sponsors, Bill Bird and Grammy Bates.
You forgot?
You threw me off. No, I was doing my rigmarole, and you started talking about.
I come back in, and
you started talking about them naming my baby.
So, well, Grammy, would you like to be able to name your new grandchild? You can do that for $15 a month.
She already supports us.
A little more, and then not only that, trip to Boston, Grammy, and that's not that far from where does she live again?
I'm from New York.
Yeah, we could go there. I don't know how close is it. Could we make it there? You could pay for another ticket.
It's a long ways.
Could we go on a train?
I don't think so.
I've never been on a train before.
Trains would be cool. I would take a train cross country to Boston. We'd have to
play Last of Us 2?
We'd have to leave now to get there in 2 weeks.
We're headed out tonight. Yeah, it would be worth it for that game.
Yeah. Anyways,
and I'm just kidding.
So
I'm kidding, Grammy.
How did
I'm
we
so
go from
sorry.
Call of Duty to going to Boston?
I was totally joking. Unless you seriously wanted to support, and then it's okay. What?
Let's get a few more episodes under your belt, with this new, our new rules and everything, and before we start asking for more money. How about that?
Okay. I'm not above begging.
So let's get into this second story. This is very closely related to the first. Call of Duty players spend more in-game after Season Pass and loot boxes removed. So this comes from Chris Priestman at IGN Nordic. I don't know what that means. I guess that's somewhere over in Europe, apparently.
No, it's one of those exercise bike thingies. It's you stand on it.
This is IGN for Vikings.
Yeah. No, the Nordic, IGN Nordic is the machine. You stand on it. You got feet.
Like the little ski machine.
Yeah, it's like a ski. I knew it was some kind of exercise.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I used one of those the other couple weeks ago. At the beginning of the month, JD doesn't know this because he hasn't talked to me in a long time, but I got a gym membership too.
Technically, I wasn't allowed to discuss anything with him. I'm just saying.
I got a subscription to membership at Planet Fitness. I go like 3-4 times a week. Not crazy. I'm not planning on getting crazy ripped or buff.
I was gonna say I thought your shoulders were looking kind of big, and the arms are kind of
working out.
They're filling out a little bit.
But I jumped on one of those for like the first time ever. I've never been on one of those. I'm like, ooh, this is a weird kind of thing. Like, I don't know how I feel about this. I did it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go back to the treadmill. I'm good with the treadmill.
There was somebody watching, going, "Oh, look at the little newbie as he is trying to get his arms built up. Look at this." No.
It's like with
I don't know why they're German people.
I mean, it was on the Nordic. So no, I was on the treadmill. I know I can hit a button and just like run, just run and then run and not stop. Anyways, man, we keep getting off track. Who would have thought?
Why?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare players are spending more money in game than Black Ops 4 players, either due to or despite the removal of the Season Pass and loot boxes. So during Activision's Q4 earnings call on February 6, 2020, company president Rob Kostick answered a question about how removing Season Pass for Call of Duty Modern Warfare has affected player behavior and in-game revenue. Kostick begins by saying, "It's important to acknowledge that removing the Season Pass for Modern Warfare was part of a number of changes Activision made to create a better overall experience for our player community. The other changes he mentioned were bringing in crossplay and cross-progression." He adds that with the launch of Call of Duty Mobile last year, Activision is treating all Call of Duty players across all platforms as a singular community. Instead of certain portions of the audience having certain content, we're focused now on free content for the entire community to drive engagement with the overall community. So basically what he's saying is, if you don't remember from when Modern Warfare came out last November, we did some articles on it, but they got rid of the Season Pass. It used to be you would pay for like all the map packs. So whenever a new map came out for Call of Duty, you'd have to pay like $20 or $30. And for each Call of Duty, there would be 3 or 4 map packs. So in the end, you'd end up spending like $80, $90 for or more, like just for all these different map packs. And if you jumped in multiplayer and didn't have map pack 3 and 3 and 4, but you had 1 and 2, you could play those maps with people. But if anyone was playing on those other maps, you couldn't play with them. Like, they would totally cut you off. So it kind of segregated all these different, sects within Call of Duty, like the fan base and the community there, who were able to actually play with each other. With Modern Warfare, they got rid of that. So every new map that comes out is now completely free. Like actually just today is the start of Season 2. And they released like a couple more maps for multiplayer and everything. It's all free. You don't have to pay for any DLC. The only thing you pay for is either what do you call it? The season. It's not Season Pass because that's what they got rid of. Maybe that is what it's called. What's it called?
The loot boxes?
No. What does Fortnite have? Like every few weeks, Battle Pass. So Call of Duty.
Trust me, I know because I pay for that crap.
That's why I asked you. So yeah, Call of Duty has the Battle Pass now for every season. You just pay like $10, and you know exactly what you're gonna get. You can work your way through the levels, and you unlock all the stuff you need to get. Or you can play for free. You don't even have to buy that if you don't want to. That's just if you want some of the premier loot. So by getting rid of Season Pass map packs and getting rid of loot boxes, which is ironic, like, hey, we're actually gonna give you less things to spend money on. There's actually more people buying into it, and they've like blew their previous numbers out of the water, which is pretty crazy. So I don't know. I was just shocked by that when I read that. I'm like, oh wow, like which is oh wow in a good way, because up until now, companies almost feel like they need to throw more and more stuff at you to buy to make more money. And Call of Duty is like, we took a step back and we're making so much more money because people, they know exactly what they're getting. And, and since everything else is free, like they're more apt to spend more money because it's like, oh, this is $10 this time, whatever. Like just a little bit here and there, like every month and a half or something, however long their seasons are. I don't know.
I'm kind of wondering if I hold my glasses like that, if it looks like I'm deeply in thought and concentrating on what you're saying.
Yeah, no, it really did. I thought you were going to spit some fire here, but...
No, I was blanked out.
Now I'm realizing
there was
you don't have anything
no
to
thought.
say.
There was no thought whatsoever. I was just going, I don't know anything about this. I can't wait for him to shut up and talk about something different. So, and then I was like, just try to look like you're comfortable. Oh, yes, very much so. Yes. I'm just kidding. No, so I would love... What? I would love to see Fortnite try to do something like that, where they kind of backed off on constantly pumping you for new skins all the time. The Battle Pass, there's good stuff in the Battle Pass, but what ends up happening is they keep dropping new skins outside of the Battle Pass, and that's the thing that kids are, and my wife, are getting so into. It's true. They end up, oh, I got to get that because it's so cool. Or... Fortnite comes up with a deal with the new Batman movie or whatever, and then all of a sudden they got Batman skins all over the place. Yeah. And I got to get every Batman and Batwoman and Catwoman and everything else skin. And they go all nuts on that. I think that it's like nickeling and diming.
Yeah. And I do think Call of Duty does have skins that you can still buy, but it's not to the extent of like what Fortnite does. Like Fortnite comes out with something every couple of weeks, I feel like.
And a lot of it is themed. Like, it's a lot of it is themed. And
right, like when Star Wars came out, they had all the Star Wars characters and stormtroopers and stuff like that, yeah.
And my family went crazy on the lightsabers. That was like the thing for 2 weeks was the lightsabers, and then it was Batman, or it might have been vice versa. But I'd like to see them kind of back off on the constantly nickeling and diming.
Did you see that there's supposed to be a new Harley Quinn skin in Fortnite? I know she's one of your favorites, so...
I might have to get that skin. I might have, because I know how much they love to have new skins.
Right.
Do it for my kids, for my wife.
For the kids.
I love my wife and I love my kids. And I love Harley Quinn. Let me tell you. What?
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought that was a really interesting thing, like, because we see it so often. And people, especially like last summer, it was this news story after news story after news story after news story about microtransactions, this, that, and the other thing. And we were getting sick of talking about it. I'm sure developers were sick of hearing about it. People, like the general gaming community, was sick of spending money on it. And so it's so nice to, like, I feel like game developers are maybe coming around this corner on how to do microtransactions in a healthy way. Like there is a way for them to nickel and dime us in a way that's not like, like they're chucking nickels and dimes at our face. It's just like a little more like, a little more subtle and a little more like, even easier on the pocketbook.
A little more coaxing, maybe a little more Vaseline, something that's going to make it a little easier.
And what's crazy is like, it actually cost like me less money, but they're making more money. So I don't know. Obviously it's working. I hope other companies pick it up because people like Fortnite, and like all these other future games that are going to be coming out. Like that's the biggest thing that worries me about like some of these new releases that are coming out. Like, okay, how are they going to screw us over with microtransactions? Like I'm sure The Last of Us 2 isn't going to have any, but like, you never know. Cyberpunk might be riddled with them. Granted, CD Projekt Red isn't usually like, they didn't do that with The Witcher. They're not known for that, but you never know. Like with the type of, like with the whole cyberpunk theme, like they could do all sorts of crazy cool skins and stuff that they charge you real money for. Or I'm trying to think of something else that's coming out. Animal Crossing coming out next month. The mobile game was riddled with horrible microtransactions. Granted, it was a phone game, but they could easily transfer that over to the new Switch game coming out and screw you over. Like, if you want to do anything, you got to pay like $5 to do this or that or the other thing. Like,
I love when anytime you talk about any game being a mobile game, a phone game, every time, without fail, you say it with such acid on your lips. You always say, like, granted, it was a phone game. Like, it's just the worst abortion like possible. You always do that. Do you not play any mobile games at all, Garrett? Do you not have any mobile game? You ain't never played no Temple Run?
I did play Temple Run back in the day.
What about Dr. Mario World?
So Dr. Mario, that was fun for like 30 minutes, and then I got sick of that.
Dude, you almost got backslapped right now. I almost had to do one of these. Like,
I played it. I didn't. Yeah, mobile games just aren't my jam. There's a couple cool, like when Apple Arcade came out with stuff, there's some cool things, but honestly, nothing really gets me excited with mobile games. And
what do you do when you're sitting on the in the office and you're dictating messages?
I liked how you're about to say the toilet, and you totally changed. We all knew what you were gonna say. We all knew what you were gonna say.
No, dude, that's disgusting, dude. You're in there and you're defecating. Why would you want to have your phone on?
Hey, everybody poops.
This is true. Everybody does poop. They do.
You need to normalize pooping.
Yeah.
It's okay to talk about your poop, guys.
It's healthy.
The only thing that could bring me to mobile gaming is probably this next news story here.
What? That's called a segue.
You like that segue?
It's almost like I set that up for you.
A new Crash Bandicoot game has leaked, but ... That's the headline. This is by Emma Kent.
And it's a Kardashian-sized butt.
Over at Eurogamer. I have good news and I have bad news. It looks like there's a new Crash Bandicoot game in the works. However, it's an endless runner for mobile. How do you like them apples?
See, if you wouldn't have known it was a mobile game, 8-year-old Garrett would have been so excited about a Crash Bandicoot game
26-year-old Garrett would have been excited for a new Crash Bandicoot game as well. But mobile game, like I said, it gets me a little excited because Crash, but it's like, oh man, like why, of all things? So artwork showing a new Crash Bandicoot mobile title seems to have leaked via Facebook ads, and the images have now been splashed across Twitter. Thanks to the logo, we know it's being made by King, the Activision-owned developer. Activision owns Crash Bandicoot now. That's why, they're the ones who did the remaster that came out 3-4 years ago. It used to be, a Naughty Dog property. Activision owns it. So Activision-owned developer King, who also made Candy Crush, that huge mobile game everyone has heard of. While the gameplay pic suggests you'll be swiping between different tracks to bop crates and collect Wumpa Fruit. Basically Temple Run, but Crash Bandicoot. So yeah, there's some fun pictures here from the ads, but a description of the game was briefly available on Store Maven, an app store testing company, but now seems to have been removed. Thankfully, Kotaku grabbed a screenshot so you can all peer at the delights which await. About this game. Everyone's favorite marsupial, now on mobile. Calling all Bandicoots, Crash is back, this time on mobile. Embark on a brand new adventure with your favorite characters and put a stop to Dr. Neocortex's evil plan to destroy the multiverse. In this new episode, Dr. Neocortex dispatched mutagen henchmen across the multiverse to enslave all dimensions. With the help of his spirited sister Coco, Crash must strike and bash Cortex's minions back to their own worlds. Get ready to oomph and whoomp your way into madness with this new Crash game. The most iconic 90s character is now on mobile. Everyone's favorite Bandicoot is back, this time at the swipe of your fingertips. Join the fight with Coco and Aku Aku to defeat Dr. Cortex.
That was like the nerdiest sentence anyone's ever read. That sounded so like 1993. Just the way that it's written.
I mean, it even says the most iconic 90s character is now on mobile.
There you go.
That's what he is. It's all things just a cash grab for us 90s kids. But man, a mobile game though, like seriously, if it was a full-fledged PS4, Xbox One release, I'd be so stoked right now. Like I love me a good Crash Bandicoot.
Do you think that now, given where we're at in society, do you think that now a Crash Bandicoot game, like a AAA title, Crash Bandicoot game would work well in 2020?
Yes. And I'm going to...
What do you think, like a platformer?
Here we go.
I mean...
That insane... those remasters that came out a few years back. Mm-hmm. So this article is from February of 2019. So a year ago. And I know they've sold a lot more since then. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy has sold over 10 million units.
That's a lot.
That is
a lot.
And that was
an older game, yeah.
Well,
that is a lot.
Older games that were completely remastered and renewed. Like
right.
they were remade. That wasn't even just remastered.
No,
they were remade.
They were down to the ground floor, for sure.
But yeah, and that was a year ago. And I know I've seen on a couple lists since then that it's still been on charts for like some of like the top sales in a month and stuff like that. So it's a year ago it had sold 10 million units and it's only sold more since then. I don't know why I can't find any updated numbers.
And you played all of those, right? You played the trilogy?
I played them all back in the day when they came out, and I played this is the remakes for PS4 and Xbox One and Switch. Like, it's on everything now, which is amazing. Like, Crash Bandicoot's on Xbox and it's on a Nintendo. Like, that's crazy because Crash Bandicoot was a PlayStation property, so it's so cool to see it on everything. But I
think given the fact that you are a Crash Bandicoot fan from when you were a kid, I'd almost guarantee that you're downloading it on your phone when it comes out.
Oh, 100%. As soon as this is available to pre-order in the App Store, I'm going to hit that button. So when it's down, like, it'll download day of.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they could make so much money with a new Crash game. Like, they sold that many with a remake. Like, if they came out with a new property, I think not only would they grab all like the 90s nostalgia, the 90s kid and everything, but I mean, heck, your kids would probably love it. Like, to jump, like everyone's kids would love it. Like, kids now, like especially if they revamped it, like, they don't have to build off the old ones. Like, the old ones happened. Start fresh for now the 2010s, 2020s kids like to be fans of, and boom, like, they got $1 million. They can make millions off that. So I don't know.
But does that developer have any other major games coming out anytime soon other than that mobile game?
King or Activision?
Activision.
I mean, Activision makes the Call of Duty games. And
so maybe they're just preoccupied with some other bigger titles right now, and that's why they're going in with mobile. On the Crash Bandicoot.
I mean, and they also they published the Sekiro Shadows Die Twice that came out.
The
last
game
year.
You said was hot gutter trash.
I didn't say it's trash. I said it's...
No, you said hot gutter trash.
I said it's impossible. It's an impossible game that got one game of the year somehow last year. So they do like Sekiro, Crash Bandicoot, Destiny. Well, Destiny used to be owned by Activision. They actually just recently left them. So like now the company, who is it that makes Destiny?
I thought an Xbox developer had Destiny now.
Bungie has it. It's not an Xbox. Well, Bungie used to be an Xbox exclusive because they used to make Halo. And then Microsoft got rid of them. And that's when they started making Destiny, which is basically, it was so funny. The first time I played Destiny 1, I'm like, oh, this is Halo. Just with like
different environment.
The different environment, and the aliens look a little different. But it's like, this is Halo. Like, it's so funny. But because it was Bungie. They had made like the original Halo games, and then just got bumped out. So, Activision definitely has their...
Speaking of Halo, I know Garrett hasn't shared it on the show yet, but he was recently hitting up a friend of ours, our boss John, who was selling some Xbox One controllers. And you started getting kind of like, well, what's going on with your Xbox One, man? Like, what, dude, I thought you going to the dark side. What was happening? Why? You're hanging out with Adrian and you're hanging out with Zech. And you're going all Xbox on me, man, going rogue.
I was like, why is he selling a controller? Like, what's going on with the console? And then that's when I heard like the console died a few months ago or something. But no, like I'm always...
You can't watch those kind of movies on there, John. That's what happens. And once you do, sometimes you get viruses and bugs.
No, I mean, I'm always down to have an Xbox. Obviously, PlayStation's going to be my main way to play things, but just to have an Xbox to be able to play like Game Pass games. Like, I've been tempted a lot of times to pick up the all digital Xbox One because that's all I would use it for is just Game Pass. Like, I don't care about any of the exclusives.
And those are going for $150 right now, right?
Yeah, they're super cheap.
They're super cheap. Yeah.
But
the only problem is you can't play PlayStation games on them.
I mean, but I wouldn't get rid of my PlayStation now. No. Like I said, it would just be for Game Pass. Because even though I have Game Pass on my PC, there's a lot of games that go onto Game Pass for Xbox that don't come to the PC side. So I was like, I think it would be nice to have the console just for those games, you know. And I like a controller way more than mouse and keyboard too. I do not like the mouse and keyboard. Alrighty, let's get into this last news story here. So this headline is not really misleading, but it's not really what we're going to talk about the most of this article. From GameSpot, Eddie McCooch. Good old McCooch, your favorite. Don't expect Beyond Good and Evil 2 release anytime soon. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is coming in 2021 at the soonest, which, let's be real, people, it's not coming then either. Not coming then.
No.
Don't expect to play Beyond Good and Evil 2 anytime soon. Ubisoft confirmed during an earnings call today that the game, which was first announced in 2008...
Really?
You heard me right.
Wow.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what this game is, it was announced back in 2008. It's now been 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's still, at this point, we know nothing about it. Like 2 years ago, they showed some stuff at E3.
I saw the stuff at E3 a couple of years ago.
And
I thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's all. Apparently, that's all they've made in 12 years.
Wow.
In 12 years, that's all they got was about a 5-minute demo.
Yeah. Wow.
Will not be among the 5 AAA titles that Ubisoft plans to release in the coming financial year that begins in April 2020. Given that Beyond Good and Evil 2 will not release during the fiscal year, that ends March 31st, 2021. You can expect the game to launch in April 2021 at the very soonest, according to gamesindustry.biz. Which, again, let's be real, it's not happening then either. But this is kind of the main crux of the story here. Ubisoft does have 5 AAA games that will release by March 2021. 3 of them are scheduled to release between September and December of 2020, with the remaining 2 set to launch between January and March of 2021. These games include Gods and Monsters, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Watch Dogs Legion. Those are the 3 that we know about, with 2 unannounced titles. So let's see what else. That's kind of that's it for the news article here. So I just want to kind of discuss here. Here's a part of the show where we discuss our theories. What are those 2 games that we don't know about? And well, maybe first question: when do you think these games? What's the timeline for these games releasing? And then what are those 2 games that we don't know about? I mean, they did the last Assassin's Creed came out. I guess it would have been a year ago. So by this fall, that'll be 2 years. So maybe another Assassin's Creed.
I feel like Assassin's Creed could possibly be it, but it's really not that old.
I mean, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's over a year old now. It came out November of 2018. Yeah. So by the time it's this time window, which is September to December, that'll be 2 years at that point. Which that's kind of their new timeline. Is they took a year off and then they did Origins and Odyssey, and then it's been a year. So does that mean they're going to do 2 more games, like boom boom, and then take another year? Like it seems like that's their schedule now, where it's a break, boom boom, game, and then break, and then game, and then break, then game. Like that seems to be what they're doing. So it could be that. There has been rumors that they're supposedly the next one could be what was it? Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, which is supposed to be like a more like a Norse mythology type thing. Which would be really cool.
They could always
like
get
Vikings,
IGN Nordic to
Right.
sponsor it.
To sponsor it.
You
And
never
the
know.
exercise
and do
company.
the exercise thing while they're while they're commenting on
Yeah.
it. I'm just saying.
I'm also trying to think what other Ubisoft games. I mean, when was the last Far Cry game was 2019.
Another Far Cry game would be fantastic, and I
So-
think that would probably work out.
And that is
pretty
that,
well.
and it would be that January to March timeframe, which is when the last couple Far Cries have come out. So maybe a new Far Cry.
What was the last one? Was the last one New Dawn?
New Dawn. Yeah, it came out after. So they had Far
Primal.
Cry 5. No, they had Far Cry 5. Yeah, Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5,
And then it was New Dawn.
And then it was New Dawn. But before 5 was Primal?
Yes.
Okay.
Before 5 was Primal, and before that was 4. So usually what they do is they have a main number, and then the next year they do a like a one where they use the same game engine and assets, but it's a spinoff or something. So like 4, and they took all those assets and made Primal. 5, they took all those assets and just did a post-apocalyptic New Dawn.
Yeah, my nephew loves the Far Cry games, and I know his wife does as well. And I actually got that game Primal from you. It was actually the first game that I played before I started playing the Uncharted games. And I played that game for 15 minutes, which is all I ever get to play any video games anyway. But I didn't get to get into it. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, the crafting item. I would love to give it another try because now I have the experience of video game playing, and I'm like, man, I probably am missing out. I've never played any other Far Cry games.
Yeah.
Which the one with the cult? Which one is the one
honestly,
with the
Primal,
cult?
I did not like a lot. Like I played quite a bit of Primal, and I could not. And a lot of people didn't really like Primal.
Is that why you gave that one to me?
Yeah, that's definitely why I sold that one to you.
Okay, now
Sweet cash.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it now. Yeah.
But the one of the cults, well, they all kind of have weird cultish stuff.
The one where they had like the like almost religious sect. That one kind of looked cool.
Well,
was that 4?
Like I was saying, that's a general theme of all of them. But no, you're thinking of 5. The one that takes place in Montana.
Yes,
that's 5.
Yes,
yeah. So you know what? I have 2 copies of 5 at home. My dad gave me one, and then I bought one. I think I bought. Somehow I have 2 copies of Far Cry 5 at home.
Dude,
I need to give you one.
I would love to.
I think I was supposed to give you one, and I never did.
I remember talking to you about it before now.
I think my dad gave me both of them. What happened is he had one for himself, and then he had gotten one, and then like later on he bought another one, forgetting he bought the first one. And then he finished it, and so he gave me both of them.
Dude, sweet. Thank you, Bill Morlang.
I think that's how it went down.
Awesome.
So yeah, I have one, and I can give you that second copy. I totally forgot I had that.
Your dad loves me. I don't know if you know that. He told me one time, I wish you were my son. But I was like, I can't be because I'm like, 2 years younger than you, dude?
Okay.
But he did tell me that he loved me. He did give me a hug, and it was like awesome. It was a great hug. He looked so uncomfortable. He was sweating like crazy. I feel kind of bad about that. Hi, Mrs. Morlang. Have they talked about me lately since I haven't been on the show? I feel like they are not responding.
It's actually been nice because it used to be
Your
where
mom blocked me on Twitter. No, I'm just kidding.
It used to be where every time we FaceTime with them, that's all they talked about was just you. And now it's been nice, actually, the last month to actually just have a real conversation with my parents. It's great. It's so great.
Good. It's good for you. Good for you.
So here's a long shot. This one is, no way it's real, but I so badly want one of those games to be a new Splinter Cell game. The last Splinter Cell game we got was in 2013. It was a PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and apparently Wii U game. I don't know. I didn't realize the Wii U could handle that, but
okay.
We have not gotten a new Splinter Cell game in 7 years. And we did an article a couple weeks ago about one of the creative directors who originally worked on the Splinter Cell series coming back to Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
He's not coming back in the same role, but is there any chance that one of those 2 games that comes out next spring is a Splinter Cell game?
Splinter Cell, the last Splinter Cell game did really, really well.
And it was so much fun. It was so good.
I could see this being that for sure. I'm going to say that if we were just to guess, though, I think it's going to be a Far Cry game.
Yeah, I think it's Far Cry and Assassin's Creed most likely, but I so badly want it to be a Splinter Cell because my only thought with it, so in Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is not the one that came out last year, but the one before it,
Ghost Recon Breakpoint was the
one that came. That's the one that came out last year. Yeah, Breakpoint, but
yeah.
Wildlands, the one before it. They actually had a DLC mission pack that you could buy. It was like $20, and it was a whole Splinter Cell. Like you actually did a mission with Sam Fisher, not as Sam Fisher, but like alongside him. And like at the end, you unlock like you get his sneaking suit and his night vision and all this stuff. They already have all the assets and the art created. Like it would. Why not just like move that over to whatever they want to do for Splinter Cell. Like they have the character model created and everything. It's ready to go. Like it would be so easy, right? That's how game development works. Is copy and paste it over, and you got a game.
I love it when you do the upset, angry nerd that like kind of wants to get what he wants. You know, you're like, I picture you like sucking on like one of those slushies and be like, oh my goodness. Like, come on, dude. Just for real. Isn't it just like a cut and paste type of thing? Just make it possible for me to be able to play my dang Splinter Cell. That's what you sound like.
You think I sound like? You should hear my dad.
Does your dad sound like that?
He doesn't sound like that, but he is.
He sounded like Luther Vandross.
He is the biggest Splinter Cell fan I've ever met. Like every time. That's another thing.
I've heard you talk about that.
Every time I jump on FaceTime with him,
that's what
they're either talking about you or my dad's asking if their new Splinter Cell's coming out, and I always have to break his heart and tell him no, it's not coming out. Probably never will. But maybe this next spring. Are you the kind of
jerk son who would like tell him, no, Dad, no, even when you know it's coming out?
No, if it's coming out, I'm gonna tell him because I'm gonna be freaking hanging from the rafters too. Like I'm gonna be losing my mind when that finally gets announced. But, so yeah, I don't know. Who knows what those last 2 games are? But we do know what these new releases are.
Oh, I love it. Ooh, I like you did that.
You like that?
Man, you're getting so good at
I thought of that on the spot. You notice I had to take a breath because I was thinking, like, where am I going next here?
See, here's what you actually need to do. You do what I do. Don't think. Just say it. Just do it.
But see, then you get me like saying like things wrong, like what I did earlier in the show. Where it's like,
I
totally
just say it,
like,
and if you say it with conviction, people go, "Oh, okay, yeah, he knows what he's talking about."
So we have just two noteworthy releases here. The first is Knights and Bikes. This came out on Nintendo Switch, February 6th, and then Yakuza 5 on PlayStation 4, February 11th. Knights and Bikes, I have not played that, but I watched a gameplay. Kind of funny, did some gameplay with the developers. Actually, I had the developers on there. We're interviewing them while playing it. Yeah. And it was actually really cool, cool looking game. Like it's a really cutesy game. Like the art styles are like kind of like watercolor painted.
I can
like
see my kid liking it a lot.
And I think it's made by like just like 2 or 3 or 4 guys. Like it's like a really tiny group of guys who used to work for Media Molecule, which is the studio that made like Little Big Planet games, like 1, 2, and 3, and then they actually Media Molecule is making Dreams, that's coming out officially February 14th, Valentine's Day. So we'll talk about that next week. I almost pre-ordered it today. I keep going back and forth. Should I pre-order Dream? Should I not? Like, it seems really cool, but we'll see. You have to tune in next week to find out if I finally bit the bullet and downloaded it.
You got to save your money for the Google Stadia, dude.
Google Stadia is garbage.
No, I know.
Google Stadia is garbage.
Wait a second. Weren't we just 6 months ago lauding about how amazing it was going to be and how we couldn't wait?
That was also before any previews of it came out. And not only have bad previews come out since then, but it's also available to the public. And the public is not loving it. That's for sure. It's getting trash reviews.
I'm just being a jerk, Google Stadia. I'm sorry. If you want to give me a free Founders Pack, though, I will take it.
Yeah, okay.
I just don't have the internet to support it.
Yeah, right.
We just went over, literally just went over and had an additional $30 for going over the allotment.
You know, for an extra $50 a month, you get the unlimited plan. So if you're paying $30 a month, why not just the extra $20, and then you don't have to ever worry about the data cap. At least with I almost said Time Warner Cable. That's what it is in the East Coast. Comcast. With Comcast, like I can just for $50 more a month, it's unlimited, no data cap.
I'm gonna have to think about it. I knew that.
Depending on how often you go over and how much you go over. Like if you're going over,
pretty much every month.
I don't know who your provider is. I guess is it Comcast?
We call it the Nazi company.
Xfinity. Okay.
The Nazis.
Yeah. So they have an unlimited plan. You have to call them and talk to them, but it's like $50.
Well, since the settlement from the litigious thing with you, so I guess I might be able to afford that.
So if you're only, he gets 100% of our Patreon support. So there you go, guys. That's yours.
It's going to me.
All those legal fees.
That's why I can see now. Thank you, kids.
But yeah, so I mean, obviously, it depends on how much you're actually going over. If you're only going over $30 a month, most months, then it's not worth paying $50. But if there's months where you go like $60, $70, $80 a month over, that's when you might want to look into that.
We'll look into it, and I'll talk with my lawyer.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. You know what?
Oh, we have that question of the show that came in.
That's later.
Oh, I know.
I've been waiting to ask you this for weeks, and you've had
Where's it on the paper?
And you've had weeks to prepare.
Oh, okay, no. No, you can't do that to me. I don't.
What you been playing, JJ?
Oh my gosh! Check this out.
Nothing. 5 weeks. Nothing. That's what I'm expecting. There's nothing on the paper, so I assume that's what you mean.
Every time we turn around, every time you ask me, what have you been playing? I always go, nothing. I haven't had any time to play. And that was becoming a real bone of contention, where I was feeling almost to the point of I felt like maybe leaving the show.
Which you did.
Well, I mean, I did, but that was due to legal reasons. But I literally was thinking, I never get to talk about video games because I just don't have any time in my life to ever play them. But that all changed because I'm manned up and I just get up before everybody else. And I got to play, and I've been playing for weeks.
Okay.
And I actually just got down on some PlayStation Now. And yeah, it was as a matter of fact, and my wife, my wonderful, beautiful, amazing wife, Janet, is going to be so upset with me because unfortunately, the free 7-day trial just ended today, and we would have got charged for a month. So
maybe not. Maybe we can log in after the show and fix that for you. We can take a look at it.
Okay. Well, so some of the games that I've been playing on it are absolutely incredible. PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 games on there. I was worried about my internet not being that great as far as the streaming. I really have not had a problem with the older games. As far as the newer stuff, the PlayStation 4 stuff, there's a little bit of stuttering here and there. Nothing that's like horrible.
Yeah.
Nothing that's so janky that takes me out of the game completely. I got an opportunity recently to play Horizon Zero Dawn, and oh man,
that game is so good.
It's amazing. It's a beautiful game, so much fun, a heck of a story. The story it's interesting because it's so different from like God of War, but it kind of reminds me of the God of War play. You're playing as a young lady, and it's set in the future, but it seems so primitive in the past with all the,
it's all like tribes and stuff like that, and like very primitive technology.
Absolutely.
No technology really. It's just like
it's got an incredible story, and I know that you've talked about it before, and I've seen clips and everything. Beautiful game, totally unlike anything else that I've played, and I love playing it. And it's easy, and you know what? My son came in the room, and it was like not a big deal for me to hand him the game and let him play. And it was easy for him to control and play. And I didn't feel like, he's going to see anything filthy or anything foul.
No, it's there. Like there's fighting and combat, but there's no gore. Like everything you're fighting is like robots.
It's robots, right? And so I for that reason, it made me go, wow, this is a really, really great game that I feel comfortable playing around my family. Like when Last of Us 2 comes out, I have 2 young kids. They're going to have to send their butts to the other room and go to bed or something early because Daddy's going to play some zombie stuff. I'm going to be killing some clickers, but...
Well, and the way the trailers look for 2, there's probably a lot of humans in there too.
Yeah, probably. And there's a lot of violence. Yeah, like a lot.
Oh, like in that one trailer, they take like
sweet
they take like a hammer to that person's kneecap and like all
stop. She's not going to let me get it if you say too much more.
Okay, sorry.
Keep it on the deal, please.
I didn't mean any of that.
She doesn't watch the show anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, no, so I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn quite a bit. And then, interesting enough, I had my buddy come in and sit with me, Brent, and we were playing Red Dead Redemption.
You were telling me the other night, he's the one who smells really bad, right?
Got a horrible issue with garlic.
Yeah, you were telling me.
He likes to eat that stuff, and it's coming out of all of his pores.
He comes and sit next to you, and he just he reeks up the room, he said.
Kind of a close talker, one of those. Like one of those people that like, hey, how you doing? You're like, why is he in my face? Does he not realize he has halitosis?
Back off.
Love you, Brinsky. So he literally got to play Red Dead Redemption, the original, on the PS Now.
Okay.
And I forgot how great it is.
So good.
For an older game.
Don't you have it on 360? You have a 360, right?
I do. As a matter of fact, I didn't have it on 360. I had borrowed it and I had to get it back.
Get it back.
People always like, they always want to have their games back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Losers. Losers. You are still going to loan me that Far Cry game, right?
Well, you can have it because I have 2 copies. I don't need it back.
Ka-ching. So I can resell it then?
If you want to. I think it's I don't even think it's in its original case. I think it's in one of those GameStop like cases.
That's okay. No, but I've been getting to play a lot of games in the time off.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying PS Now because I feel like I jumped into that and like raved about it, and everyone's just like, yeah, okay, Garrett, you're the PlayStation pony, whatever you say.
Well, no.
And then like for you to jump in and be like, oh no, it actually is like amazing. I'm like, that's what I've been saying.
Right.
That's what I've been saying.
Right. And you were right. And the thing is, and the reason I'm upset about the $10 thing isn't because it's not a good value, because it is a good value at $10.
Want to hear something crazy? It's even cheaper if you pay for a year. It's only $60 for a year. Right. Half the price.
Right. And that's where I was going.
$60. That's the same price as PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
And we're not shills. We're not getting any coin for that. But PlayStation Now, for $60, you get the whole year, and that's a heck of a value. That's like paying $5 a month.
And there's way more, from the last I checked, the catalog is way bigger than Game Pass. Like, there's so many more games, and obviously you can only, the PS4 games you can install directly on the console.
You can download those games, which is what you wanted.
Which is what you should do, because the PS4 games are a lot bigger, a lot more technologically advanced. But PS3 and PS2 games you have to stream, but
Yeah,
they stream
there's
so
not as-
easily. Like
there's
it's,
not as much to them. So
Yeah.
they're streamed very simple.
like with my, I have crazy internet, and I didn't have any issues. Obviously, like you have a little different internet situation, but so I'm glad to hear it even worked on yours because you are out in the boondocks and they have a little.
That's true.
You are.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
I mean, you live like an hour from here. Like,
Yeah, that's true too.
like
Well,
you-
once we get out of the jungle and we start climbing over, whatever. Why you always make me sound like a stupid redneck?
well,
Well,
you said it.
yeah.
Well, I have been playing. Well, first, let me hit, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Jackbox Party Games. I had so much fun at that stream. Again, shout out to those guys. I would actually highly recommend go check them out. Twitch.tv/SBFVGS and then Twitch.tv/handsome_phantom. And I think you can even look back at those streams. I would say go look at ours, but I don't know. While it was happening, there was no audio issue because everyone who was watching was like, "Oh, everything's good." But then when I went to our page to watch it later, the audio was like super quiet. Like you can't even hear hardly anything. So if you want to watch a good quality, like with good audio and everything, go to one of those two pages, and you can watch that stream from Wednesday. But those Jackbox big games are so stinking fun. Like, and it's a game that like anyone can play.
Yeah.
Like everyone from like the biggest gamers like you and me to like literally your aunt or second cousin or whoever, like pick some Joe Schmo off the street who's never played a video game before. And like
even my buddy Brent could play that stuff.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, dude, he's not that bright.
Because all it is, it's these fun TV games. That you can get on PlayStation, you can get it on Switch, you can get it on Xbox, you can get it on PC. Heck, I think I've even seen it on like some TV. I think I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. It's everywhere. You can get it anywhere.
So the great part about those Jackbox Party games is I know that I played it with my sister and a couple of my nephews. Had a brilliant time.
Yeah.
You hook up your cell phones.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting to. Yeah.
Up to the sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to
you're
cut you
good.
off.
You're good.
But remember, this is my show. That's why we call it the Super Gamer Man. Okay.
Yeah.
So do we call it that now? Or is it like
I'll
we're branded?
I'll have to redo everything in Photoshop.
Don't worry about it. Just leave it as it is.
I mean, we have stickers printed and everything. I have a shirt coming. Like
I was worried. I was like, what's going to happen to our stickers and shirts and stuff when you end up trying to like change my sweet face? Are you just going to put another stupid sticker with like Zetch's or Adrian's face over it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
I got a pretty mug, and remember, you could also get one of our mugs. Where do we get the mugs at?
supergamerboys.com/store. Get our mug.
Okay.
Tell them why it's called a mug.
I don't know. You're saying mug.
There, our faces.
Yeah, no, but the games are great, and
Yeah. So you use your phone. That's what you're getting at. Like,
and you're able to like type in like the answers, and like one of the ones that I played was a lying thing.
Yes, that was so good.
Amazing, so much fun, and for some reason I was really good at it.
Yeah.
Like, really good at it. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
I can't say more positive things about that game.
Yeah. So if you have a cell phone and any of those other 4 consoles, which everyone has a computer, like so you bring up your computer or plug your computer in your TV, whatever you want to do, and then bring up your smartphones, log into the website, and then every time you play, it gives you a room code. Like, okay, the code is blah blah. It's usually like just 5 letters or numbers or whatever.
And you said you could play it on PC, Xbox,
PS4,
PlayStation,
and Switch. It's on
you
everything.
play it on your Ring doorbell.
Yeah,
that's like a new thing.
But
check that out, Ring
so
Doorbell
much fun
Network.
because there's like, there's these fun ones where you have to, there's fibbage. Is that what it's called? Fibbage, yeah, fibbage, which is like you have to lie, like it'll give you like a definition, like you have to give like make up, or it'll give you a word and you have to make up a definition, and then like everyone has to decide which ones are the real ones or which ones are lies or something like that.
The correct answer is in the things, and then you make up some lies, and then you have to choose multiple choice, and it's just fun.
Yeah, or there's like Quiplash, which is like it gives you like a prompt, like something's things you would do on a snowy Friday evening or whatever. Like, obviously that's a dumb prompt, but that's the prompt. And then like 2 people get that question and they throw their answers in there. And the idea is to be silly and goofy as heck. Like you can be serious, but that's not fun. Like you're trying to get people to vote for you, just be ridiculous. So it's like, I'm going to go out and, blah, blah, some goofy thing you can come up with. Like, and that's so much fun. There's another one that's like murder mystery trivia, which is, It's a trivia game, but if you get a question wrong, you die. You get murdered.
Yeah.
It's like really intense, like very like not violent, but it's like, oh wow, this is really like dark and intense, like really dark, but like really silly at the same time. And it's so much fun. And at the end though, like you're still answering trivia questions. You can come back to life and like save yourself. They have 6 different party packs, and each game usually has about 4 to 5 games on it. So at this point, they have like 30 games that you can choose from.
It's funny you just said the murder mystery thing right now. This past week, the electricity went out at our house, and it went out in the entire town and the next town. Both of our towns were completely out from like 1:30 in the afternoon until 10 o'clock at night. Wow. So the towns are yeah, we're total rednecks.
The boondocks there.
But we was riding around in our canoe whistling at each other. No, well, none of us had power.
Someone got off the bike pedaling the power in the city.
We had flashlights going and everything else. We ended up barbecuing outside and sat around the fire pit. And I drove to the store to get some stuff, and it was crazy. The store was the only thing lit up with generators, and everything else in the town was black. But you could see people sitting with their phones and the lights on in their car charging their phones. I'm serious. It was crazy. So crazy. Craziest thing I've ever seen. But the reason the murder mystery thing I wanted to bring up was we then came back and sat around as a family, and we didn't have mobile data because the towers weren't working either. So no Wi-Fi, no mobile data, no ability to do anything.
Jeez.
So we ended up playing the board game Clue as a family. And I'll tell you what. I grew up doing that kind of stuff, and it was really cool. And for somebody who plays video games and who likes to watch TV and stuff like that, and I'm on my phone, I'm glued to my phone all the time, it's really amazing sometimes to just put this stuff down and to be able to invest in your family. And I had a lot of fun, and I did contemplate cheating to try to win.
I mean, it's Clue. You got to cheat.
Well,
that's how you win.
Well,
Clue.
Well, here's the thing. I was supposed to win. I tried to accuse, which is, you're saying, here's the thing. And they said, you can't do that. And I gave the answer. And then Brent, that jerk, he stole the thing because it was his turn next. And he goes, I would like to accuse, and gave the exact same answer. He stole it out from under me.
This Brent guy sounds like a real piece of trash.
He's a jerk. That's okay.
Oh, man.
That's all right. I pee in his shoes when he's not looking. True story.
The other game I was playing...
I only did that once.
The other game I was playing, I mentioned it, I talked about it last week, but Patapon Remastered. Mm-hmm. So this is a game that was originally a PSP game, which was their PlayStation Portable back in the day, before the Vita, the original PlayStation Portable. And I missed out on it somehow then. But I played more of it this last week, and this is such a fun game. Like, it's so simple and so stupid. It's really stupid, but it's really fun. And like for $15, it's like, heck yeah. Like, it's so stinking cheap to just for hours of endless rhythm adventure. Like, that's what it is. It's like, if you like Guitar Hero or Rock Band, like those games, like that rhythm, it's that mixed with like a strategy action game where you got to like, okay, now I need to move my troops forward. Okay, now they need to attack. Now I need to do this, or now they need to defend, or whatever it is. Like, it's so much fun. And the art style is kind of fun and cool, and it looks good in 4K.
Have you still been playing the Star Wars game?
So as I mentioned last week, and even probably the week before, I have not hardly had any time to like play games. Like I say I played those 2 games. The only reason I played Jackbox is because we did a stream. Like, I was forced to. I mean, I wanted to do the stream, but you know what I mean. Like,
I was forced.
It's not like it was in my free time. It was like I'm in job mode. This is me, like, on my part-time job here, having fun. And then Patapon is a game where like you can pick it up for like 5 or 10 minutes. That's all I played. I played for like maybe 10 minutes. So that's all I played in the last week. Was like we did like about 3 hours of Jackbox on Wednesday night, and then like 10 minutes of Patapon. My life has been so crazy the last couple weeks, like insane. So yeah, I want to get back to Star Wars because I want to beat it. I need to beat it, but
you won't beat it,
dude. You trash talking me like I never.
No, I don't mean it like I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean that you suck at games.
The good games, I beat the good games.
The good games.
I beat God of War. I beat Spider-Man. I beat Death Stranding. I beat there's so many games in the last year I have beat. If they're good, I'll beat them.
You know what I love about you, Garrett? Not very much, but I love it when you I love it when you get so defensive about your ability. It's like you're feeling like your manhood's challenged. 'Cause
Yeah.
I always notice that, like, you know, because you've been at the Planet Fitness lately, like your little shoulders kind of like bow up a little bit, and you kind of put a little air in your chest. You get a little more bass in your voice and stuff like that.
It's a serious business, man. You're accusing me of things.
It's video games. There's nothing serious about video games.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I know there's so many nerds
that's
throwing their
why-
pocket protectors at the screen right now.
That's
Oh my
why-
goodness.
That's why I try to get you off the podcast, because you don't take this seriously.
Well,
Maybe.
now you'll never be able to release me from this show.
Oh, man.
I'm in it to win it, baby.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's get to our question of the show. So I love my show notes here. I had one topic that I came up with, and I struck it out because someone else gave us another topic. And then right before the show, I was like, hey, did you read this thing? You're like, nope. So I struck out that topic.
Wait,
so
you saying I wasn't prepared?
JJ was not prepared for something that he needed to be prepared
Hey,
for.
I brought good stuff today.
So
I didn't have time for your articles.
Our doc show notes look like a classified, redacted,
They're redacted,
government document or something. Like there's like strike. And at the very top it says, question of the show. I changed it from topic of the show to question of the show. Now it says, here's the question. Here's the only question we have. So hang on, before I get into this, please, for the love of God, if you guys have any questions, concerns, anything we can discuss, any topics, send it to us because we need something. Like this is a question of the show. This is what we're working with here. Again, this is from Brent Fox.
That clue stealing liar, loser. Shoes have pee in them.
I don't even know if I should read this question because of who it's from, but you know what?
We don't have any others.
We don't have any others. This is bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah.
But it just says, have you decided on any names for your baby? And it didn't direct it towards anyone. So are you expecting?
I am not, because I actually got clipped.
Okay. So I guess they're talking about my baby, which everyone knows we are having a baby.
Well, not, he's personally not. It's not gonna, it's not coming out of his vagina.
I mean, you never know.
Well,
but
there's something you're not.
So
I thought you were getting fatter. I didn't want to say anything.
So as far as names, we have a few on our list. We do have a list. We have our girl list, our boy list.
Are you going to get in trouble for releasing any information on the show? No, she doesn't listen to your show.
She doesn't listen to the show. I could say whatever the heck I want. Although my parents would probably tattle on me, so I can't say too much. But no, I'm not going to release anything. But I have ideas. I have thoughts. We have a lot of names. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah, I got it.
I feel like you have something. You're giving me a look like you're ready to give me something.
I got a few. They're just suggestions, just throwing them out there.
Okay.
I want you to know that sometimes there's names that go both ways. Chris, Pat, whatever.
Okay. So
You never know if the kid's going to be non-binary. You have no idea.
Do we want to do like lightning round thing here where you say it and I say yes or no?
Oh my God, I love it.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And by me saying yes or no, that's not saying whether it's on my list or not. It's just saying whether I like it or not. How about that?
I feel
I'm not going to give away any information about what we currently have, but I will answer yes or no whether I like the suggestion that JD gives or not. How about that?
I feel like I might have my feelings hurt if you say no too quickly. So can you?
It's called lightning round, so you can't take it. You can't take it personally when I'm literally just playing with the rules of the game.
But I'm kind of codependent, so if you can just not with the stabbing.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay.
So for the next Morlang child.
Give it to me.
So we don't know if it's gonna be a boy or girl. So I'm just gonna be throwing names out there: boy, girl, non-binary, whatever. So. Are you allowed to say that?
Just say some names, please. Stop talking about genders.
Hideo Kojima.
Yes.
Okay. I thought. So we've already decided the kid's name now?
No, I told you if I say yes, that means I like it.
You like it.
And honestly, I'll let you know.
Hideo.
That was one.
Name.
That was one that's already on the list. That's the one I will let slip. That one that's already on the list.
Yeah, okay.
So sorry, Trudy, I let that one slip. But you brought Hideo.
Oh, no. All right.
I mean, why wouldn't I name my son that?
Well, who wouldn't want to name your son that? Or daughter. I mean, I'm just, usually it's, Hideo is, I mean, like we said, I don't know whether it's a boy or girl, but
it would be weird. It'd be weird to call your girl that. So
you can do it either way.
Okay, so if we have a girl, it'll be Hideo.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So Arthur Morgan.
Yes.
It's a cool name. I like that.
I like that.
We're trying to do this lightning, so I'm just gonna throw some stuff out there.
Okay.
You go both ways. JJ.
No.
Okay. Damn it. What did I say? I said that if you answer too quickly, I'm not going to be happy. I'm just saying, I'm like an uncle to you, like a lovable, amazing uncle that you look up to and you're always calling me for advice. You know, like, I mean,
yeah, okay.
And, you know, heartfelt stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe this is the time. I don't have any other, well, I mean, my son's named after me and.
Yeah, you.
Well, and my nephew's named after me too. But I'm just saying, but this child will be like a great nephew to me, kind of, you know, in like a not real way, but like a fictional type of honorary thing, I guess you'd call it. So I'm thinking for a boy or a girl, JJ, and it's very cute. You don't even have to put, you know, just the initials. That's it.
Okay.
All right. So we've decided the name will be JJ.
I'll think about it.
It's bound for greatness.
Do you have any other names? That was it? Those three?
I feel like that was the strong one. You know, that was like the real strong one right now. Okay.
Just two more. That's all I need.
Kratos?
No.
I didn't really feel that one. I didn't really feel that.
I was more Greek, maybe.
What about Crash?
Okay.
Crash Bandicoot.
I like that. I don't know if I put Bandicoot in there.
Well, I like
well,
you got to know what kind of kid it is. You know, is that a Bandicoot? Okay.
Bandicoot.
I got it.
Okay.
Snake. Dude, you know what? Yeah. Who's going to ever fight your kid? All right, here he comes. That's Snake Morlang. What a hell of a fighter he is. Don't mess with Snake Morlang.
Okay.
Dude, I think he's got a switchblade. I believe he's like 6. What? Yeah, but I mean with a name like Snake.
Snake doesn't use a switchblade, just to clarify that.
Well, your Snake might.
No, he'd be very fluent in the arts of Krav Maga and CQC.
Krav Maga
close quarters combat.
We've hit a new low, folks. It's so good to be back on the show.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for those name suggestions. I'll write down. I already had Hideo on there, but I will add Snake. I'll add Crash. Those are good ones.
Waiting for you to write those things down.
I'll text them to Trudy after the show. How about that?
I feel like you're just saying that. You're not really
Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. It means so much that you guys support us each and every week just through listening, through watching on YouTube at supergamerboys.com/YouTube, for supporting us through all this craziness this last few weeks. We took a week off, and then JG's been gone for the last 4 weeks, and we've had some guest hosts, and things have been changing, and we're super thankful that, you stuck through it, and that we've gotten so much love and support as well, so thanks for all that. If you haven't already, please go check out patreon.com/supergamerboys. For $1 a month, you can get our shows early, and there's even cooler stuff up from there. Supergamerboys.com/store. If you want to check out our merch, I just ordered a t-shirt the other day. Should be showing up later this week, it's supposed to. We have mugs, we got stickers, we got socks, we have everything. Rate and review us, please, over at iTunes or Spotify, wherever you listen to our stuff. Leave us a review on YouTube, thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. You can find us supergamerboys.com, at supergamerboys on Twitter and Instagram, and facebook.com/supergamerboys. I'm on Twitter at gmorlang. He's on Twitter
at JJ Purdom.
Well, he's sometimes on there.
Sometimes.
It's been a while.
But you know what? I'm going to be a whole lot more active now that I'm back.
And join our Discord. supergamerboys.com/Discord. Like I said, it's been super active the last couple of weeks. It's been a lot of fun. And there's also, if you support us on Patreon, there's some cool Discord perks where you show up in different categories and your name is different colors depending on what level you support us at. So that way you can show off to all the other fans. They're like, hey, I support for $10 a month. I'm so cool, or whatever, or even $1. Better than those people with the white names.
Right?
You could have a green, blue, pink, purple.
Because we know that if it's white, it's not right. That was a racist.
Thank you so much to Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics, facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics. And that brings us to the end of this very special episode.
Every week from here on out is going to be special. Every week, because, boys, thank you for filling in my chair. I noticed that was a little warm. I'm not going to, and it smelled a little bit. I don't want to say anything. I'm not accusing.
And Zech, whenever you want to stop by and pick up your phone books, too.
Yeah. Hey, guys, thank you so much for filling in for us. And thank you, literally, like, without even joking. I love you guys very much, and so does Garrett. You guys have been amazing that you've stuck with the show while I've been off, but I'm back. And I'll tell you what, I'm back in black, except for I'm a white guy, and I have no rhythm. But I will tell you this, I feel kind of like I'm Heinz, like the ketchup, because good things come to those who wait.
Is that a slogan of theirs?
Yeah, that was like one of their slogans back in the 90s.
So.
You thought you were a 90s kid, dude.
I don't think that's a thing. I don't think so.
That's a thing. You Google it.
Okay, I'll Google
that.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and we will catch you all on the flippity flop.